So let us discuss about how to do an effective root cause analysis within the agile environment. Because in agile, a fast failure are always considered as success as long as these are not repeated. Because if you repeat the mistakes again and again, sprint after sprint, our sprints will fail, which will result in the failure of Scrum or Agile or any of the Agile frameworks. So, an effective root cause analysis is of very high importance when it comes to Agile. In a waterfall project, okay, so we may do a root cause analysis at the end of the project, and the root cause analysis are recorded in the lessons learned to be used by the subsequent project. Whereas in the agile world, you have sprint 1, maybe sprint 2, sprint 3, and sprint 4. Maybe at the end of every sprint, we do a root cause analysis, and the learnings are pumped back into the planning meeting of the subsequent sprint. So it is critical that the same issues we cannot carry forward to the next sprint, because that will result in the failure of the project itself. So we have freedom to make mistakes. At the same time, these mistakes cannot be repeated sprint after sprint. So that is the challenge in the agile world. So at the end of every sprint, we have to do a root cause analysis, or we call it as a lessons learned exercise, which is the last ceremony at the end of the sprint or iteration. So we can confidently assume that we have the burn down chart coming in as a input. So when we really look at a sprint burn down chart, it looks like this. So we have the y-axis, which has the effort to complete the sprint, and on the x-axis we have the duration of the sprint. So if this is 30-day duration, and this may be, let's say, 300 or whatever, this is a 300 man days or to complete the sprint, the ideal curve is supposed to look like this. So that means as the sprint progresses, the balance effort to complete the balance activities should reduce, and it should become zero at the end of the 30th day or at the end of the iteration completion. Now, while this is the scenario, the actual curve may go something like this. So let's say if this is the actual curve, my suggestion is, or what I learned from my experience is that, so whenever you see all these crests and troughs, we should do a root cause analysis to find out why it is happening. So it is better, so these are the points where we have to really analyze why it is happening, maybe with the help of a Ishikawa diagram or a fishbone diagram. Again, you can do a drill down analysis using a Ishikawa diagram or a fishbone diagram. So this will make your root cause analysis exercise very objective. Otherwise, we'll be just discussing about nice to discuss things. So first thing, project the iteration burn down or the sprint burn down chart. Using an Ishikawa diagram, do a brainstorming at every crest and every trough, which will give us the probable root causes. Now, let us try to understand how effectively we can use an Ishikawa diagram. So typically an Ishikawa diagram looks like a fishbone, and now here the reason is sprint failure. Now we have to analyze. Now, is there any problem with the methods we are using? Is there any problem with the machines we are using for the project? Is there any problem with the material? Is there any problem with the measurement we are taking? Measurements. Is there any problem with the environment? Or is there is there any problem with the man or the people? So every crest and trough of the burn down chart, you do a root cause analysis using an Ishikawa diagram and brainstorm with the team on these lines, like, is there any problem with the methods? Is there any problem with the machine? Is there any problem with the material? Is there any problem with the environment? Is there any problem with the people? Is there any problem with the measurement we are taking? Could be like there can be a problem with your estimation, story points, effort estimation. There could be problems like network issues. That comes under environment. Maybe noisy environment, AC not working. Everything can come into this environment stuff. Problem with the material we are using. And the problem with the machines, machine hang up and router issue. Those things can come under the machines. And the methods we are following. And any problem with the people, are they trained? Do they have sufficient knowledge, the domain as well as the process? Are they technically equipped to do the job? So sometimes we may get something like low morale as a manpower issue. Low morale is again a symptom. So again you have to drill down further to see why this low morale. So we have to do this drill down till we hit the root causes. So once we identify the root causes for these things, the next step is applying a fix, because sometimes the real corrective action will take some time, which cannot wait. So this next sprint cannot wait. So you apply a fix and then get into the next sprint, and at the same time you have to come out with the solution. And if that solution is going to be implemented in the next iteration or sprint, sometimes that also should have a story point, because we are going to spend effort in implementing that particular solution. So that also can get a weightage or a story point, so that the velocity, the average velocity will be protected. So always project that burn down chart. Analyze every crest and trough of the burn down chart using an Ishikawa diagram and brainstorm with the team till you hit the most probable and accurate real root causes, and then brainstorm and come out with the fixes and solutions, and implement it into the subsequent sprint. Otherwise, sprint after sprint, we may fail. Without analyzing the burn down chart, when we conduct a lessons learned exercise, we will be talking very generally, so very generic discussions. So this will help us to focus on the real issues. So even if the Agile is contemporary and Ishikawa diagram is conventional or traditional, this is where one of the points where I see a lot of leverage between the contemporary wisdom and the conventional wisdom. Trust you got some value out of this presentation or this video. Please do subscribe to our channel so that you will get access to our latest videos, and recommend these videos to your colleagues and contacts so that we can increase our subscriber base as well. Thank you very much.